Can you hear me? Oh, good. Okay. So we must have been on unmute. Um, Anyway, doesn't matter. Here we are. So as we spoke last week, we're going to be breathing from the mouth. And what I'd like to try this morning is a humming meditation. And you can do whatever pitch you like. But what we want you to do is to start at the bottom chakra and work your way up, both with pitch and you can breathe whenever you want, but just breathe through your mouth because it's a completely different sensation of being in your body that happens when you breathe through your mouth. And the goal of meditation is to be in a unified state where you are actually in your body at the same time as you are accessing your spirit body so that you are not leaving. Because staying present is the whole point. That's what oneness is. It's being unified in the body and in the spirit body in the same time. And most of the meditations we've done before cause a separation. And that separation allows us to be what we call divided against ourselves. We escape to our spirit body when the going gets really tough in our physical body. And so if we breathe through our mouths and hum, that's engaging our whole head. And if we take our attention into our chakras and put a little bit of, it's like a little nasal quality, like oh, into the sound instead of just a which is very kind of passive. But when it's you're like that's in your body. And so whatever pitches you choose, put that kind of intense quality into it so you're really feeling the chakra. And then when you inhale, inhale through your mouth. And it will take some concentration, but that's also part of the point, is that we want to be completely engaged in the meditation. And we watch from the witness center at the back of our head. So that's a lot to think about at once, but it's not so hard when you're doing it. Okay, so choose whatever pitches you want. They don't have to match with mine. You know, it's early in the morning for me, so mine are going to be kind of low. And you're welcome to come with me or go higher, whatever feels good to you. But it helps to raise the frequency a little bit as you go up the different energy centers. So we're just going to try this out, go at your own pace, and you can go up and then you breathe in and start at the bottom again. But you breathe whenever you want to, and you change chakras whenever you want to. There's no, when you feel an energy center is open, then go ahead and move on. If an energy center is not quite ready to open this morning, then you can linger there or go on. It's up to you. This is all self-guided. Because really what we're talking about all the time is self-responsibility. Any questions? Okay, let's go. Breathe through the mouth. It's very hard for me to do, so I have to remind myself. Take myself into witness place. Um, You can keep going or feel into the vibrations, whatever works for you. Continue breathing through the mouth. So as you're ready, open your eyes. And let's talk about our experience. We'll go first. This was agitating to an already agitated system. And this is not a bad thing, because after decades of practicing breathing through the nose, calming the system, and escaping from the reality. It's jarring to our bodies to come into them and require integration. We see how far we are from being that. And so calming is just fine, but it makes us irresponsible in the world because we aren't holding ourselves accountable to really live our truth because we're not in our body. And as women, we've had to deny so much of who we are just to survive. That escape has always been welcome because it gives us an out at least part of our day. And men have lots of reasons to escape too. But because I'm female, that's how I relate. And so that's how it's going to come out first until that's really healed. So, and that's fine because most of the books are written by men. So we need to understand our own experience from the inside and articulate it. So we welcome your feedback on how this felt for you. And as you've been practicing over the week since we started talking about this, what's happening? How are you? Is this hard, easy, fun, horrible? What's the experience? Yes.
Hey, good morning.
Good
Um, y-
morning.
yeah, that was kind of powerful. Actually, I didn't make it all the way through. I got to my solar plexus and I just broke out in tear. I just cried.
Yeah,
Um, Kind of post surgery and facing
absolutely. There's a
writing a writing a friend that I have to. You just spoke into it. Not able to live who we are, living. Anyway, going to be writing a friend a letter today to just speak into why I can't be part of the relationship. And so it was kind of, even though it was a little, I woke up this morning and just had some little bit of trauma feelings about it, but realized I was in the matrix of belief and I've been going through that and accepting and realizing that. But wow, it just kind of caught me by surprise. So got to the solar plexus and it was like, oh yeah. And got to the heart, and that was so. Anyway, I didn't quite get a chance, but I will be practicing that. It was effective, and it did what you said was very helpful in understanding what's going on.
but it's
So
jarring and we agree with you. It can be traumatic, which is why we're checking in with everybody how it was
yeah,
meditating, breathing from the mouth instead of the nose,
yeah,
breathing into our bodies instead of out of our bodies.
yeah,
And what that experience is, because it really takes us to the unresolved in
yes,
our beingness. And this is what spiritual growth is. It's contact that allows us to resolve these unresolvable to date
yes,
separations in ourselves,
yes,
because it's these splits that divide us against ourself that
right.
need to be healed so that when we run into conflict, we don't have 10 voices responding, we have one. And so this is about total integration
Yeah,
with
yeah,
with none other than spirit. That's what total integration is. It's not that we're doing anything different. It's
uh-huh,
just that the understanding that the way we were breathing before was causing us to escape
mm-hmm.
rather than,
Mm-hmm.
sit in what
Mhm.
really needs to be worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, I appreciate the new information and actually experiencing it. So, yeah.
thank you so much for your feedback, because
Sure.
it's confirming what we're experiencing also. And so
Yeah.
it's really, really very important that we share this with each other and understand that this is how we go deeper at this
Right.
point. That it's not about avoidance, and it's not about pretending.
Yeah.
And, it's not about anything but really being real in ourselves, coming into the deepest part of ourselves
Yeah.
with total acceptance of whatever arises.
Well, I really appreciate our program and the growth that we're all experiencing from this. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. And we want to be here through the hard parts, because these are the ones where we can really be helpful, because the hard parts are hard. Pain is pain, and we're going straight into it. Whatever is unresolved will come forward, and there is no reason to ever force anything. If you get to a chakra and it's giving you feedback that it doesn't want to go any further, respect. Tomorrow's another day. And we don't have to do this work in 10 minutes, and sometimes we can re-traumatize ourselves by forcing in a time that it's better to just be self-respectful and accept where we are in this moment, because we are always a work in process, and we always will be. There is no arrival point. There are points where we get to feel horrible and points where we get to feel wonderful. And if we can approach both of those with equanimity and great self-acceptance and understanding, that's huge. And so there's no race here. There's no winning and losing. There's no appropriate level of judgment. Judgment just can't be here and allow us to do our work. We'll shoot ourselves in the foot before we get anywhere. So total self-acceptance is required as we move forward. And the goal is not to feel good. It's not that that's not a good thing, but we've used meditation in the past to feel good, to feel connected to the all of the all that is. And it's very important to know that that experience is possible. But once you know that experience is possible, to actually live in it in our bodies requires a whole different dimension of work. And that's what we're into now. Does that make sense? Good. Good. So this isn't going to be exactly fun or easy all the time, but it's enormously gratifying to have an energy center open that couldn't flow before. And so this is what we're really doing. We're learning ourselves in a deeper way. We're learning our spiritual mechanism in a felt sensory way, so that we're participating deeply, more deeply than we ever have before.
Good morning.
Good morning. So happy to see you today.
It's just amazing to me how perfect this practice is. I have been particularly focusing on getting into my body and less in my head in the last several weeks. It's been my focus of my work to be in my body, which have tried so hard not to be in my body.
Right.
And So
Right, the quote.
even the past few weeks when we've been breathing through our mouth, that's made a big change. And then today's meditation is furthering that. And I can say that I'm nowhere near being in my body. I'm still resisting that. And but that's what I'm working on. And it's just perfect that this practice is moving in that direction. So thank you so much.
Huh,
I appreciate.
you're so welcome. We are so grateful to be meeting where we are, which, we can't say enough about how everything that we've done before this has been preparation for this. Because if we did this too soon, it would be too much. So the name of the work now is slow and steady. Anything that feels like force can set us back. So it's not about accomplishment. It's about relaxation and allowing, as it always has been. And it's still the allowing of union. It's just we're in a different dimension. We're now into the dimension of the physical, which is much more dense. And so it's a different level of work. But it's work that must be done for us to be whole. And we're just working through layers. And we had to do the first part so that we all understand that elevation, evolution is what we're doing, and that feeling good is possible. And that's our first step, to understand that feeling good is possible. But now we know that that's there, but we also understand that that can be an escape. And so now we can do the depth of being in our body totally and feeling, allowing the density that has accrued in our energy centers to be released, to be acknowledged, felt, and let go of, just as we did in our first round in easier frequencies.
Our meditation practice through the years has been breathing through our nose. And by now it's so much more comfortable
Right.
and safe, because for me it's very confrontational to be in my body,
Yeah,
and
that's
uncomfortable, and it's a struggle. It's hard work for me, but it's exactly what I'm up to at this particular time. So
so the
I'll
truth
keep it.
is this. The truth is this: when we are really capable of union with our bodies completely participating, then death is complete release. Death will be complete release no matter what. Our ability to participate in the ecstatic capacity of that felt release is what we are working on in going directly into these patterns of, we'll call them drama and trauma patterns, just to be simple, because that kind of covers the worst of the negativity, which is the density that we hit. And then there's, a lot of variations on that as we get more familiar, but that sort of covers a lot of the negativity that we are running into as we attempt to meet these energies in our body with our breath in and out of the mouth. So, but the point is allowing. It's always allowing and self-acceptance, beginning with a small s, and over time that becomes a large S, capital S. Because once we accept the small s, we're in a position to experience the large S in both senses of that 2 words and 1 word. Because it's really, we're going for ultimate wholeness here, ultimate union, where there's no separation in us, none. Which interestingly, if you look at the word alone and you add an extra L in there, it's just all one. And that's the truth of it. We have to do our work alone to become all one. Even the English language has it. We invite your experiences and questions, please.
For me, this experience really, really brought me back to the words you often said from the beginning, which were all parts are welcome. And as I'm doing this breath, I thought, oh, I finally get what you were talking about. All parts are welcome, because it was so visceral. It's so feeling when you breathe through your mouth. And there is a vulnerability to it, of having your eyes closed and your mouth open, that I really, to be honest, had never even thought about. But it's a very vulnerable position to be in. And that trust comes up, that all parts are welcome, and no matter what surfaces, no matter what comes forward in any dimension of anything, it's going to be okay. I can do this. I've got this. This is just me, my experience, and I'm going to be fine with it. And so at first, I have to say, it was a little, like you were saying, a little bit triggering. It was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. You know?
A lot triggering.
Yeah.
That's how we
But
experience it. It's
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
triggering.
But as I did it, as I continued and slowed the breath down, because I think at first too, I was starting to get a little hyperventilation going. And I believe too that the making of the sound, the humming, helped to feel it, completed it. You know, it's like, okay, I can truly feel this, and this is my body, and this is here, and I am completely present. And I think having all those pieces together, along with the thought that all parts are welcome, just I finally understood it. So thank you.
Oh, that's so perfect. Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
feedback. So this is, you know, this is just the next step of being real.
Yeah.
Making our meditation real.
Yeah.
So we really are evolving. We are becoming finer as we address these denser elements and allow them to be released is really what we're doing. And so we're going to remind you that ANASA is available for consults if you run into trouble, because
Thank you.
any kind of forcing can put us in a state that we may not know how to get out of. And so we're available.
Thank you.
You know, we do charge money for those consults, but
That's
if you
okay.
can't afford it, just let us know, because it's not about the money. You know, the money we just do because we need to have a certain value for our time.
Absolutely. It's an energetic exchange.
Exactly. It is an exchange, but we're also happy with whatever's possible. You know, consider what we charge as a suggestion. And, you know, if you can't do it, that's totally fine, because we are here to help. So we just want to know that that's available if you run into trouble. It's not that what we're doing is dangerous, but if we push a little bit too hard, we can get a backlash that's really hard to deal with, and Anasa can take you out of it fairly easily and quickly. So don't hesitate to contact us, because we welcome the opportunity to participate always.
Yeah.
And so the other thing is, Rebecca's a physical person. She'll get back to you within 24 hours. If she doesn't respond in 10 minutes, it doesn't mean she doesn't care. It's just there's, only one. So that availability is real, but there are limits to what the person can do.
Absolutely.
So
Thank you.
that wasn't really meant to be a commercial, but I think you understand where it's coming from.
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, thank you for that. I had no idea that consultations were available. So
Oh,
thank you for that.
there's a website, conversationswithanasa.com, which has a place that you can book, but it requires payments. So I know
Okay.
you have my text and email, so you can just write me directly. But yes. And I'm sorry you didn't know that. We do consults, individual consults all the time. We love it. It's a way to speak directly to whatever you are bumping into in that moment.
I didn't know that either. It's good to know. Do you do consultations over Zoom?
Yes. Yes.
That's great to know. That's really good to know. I am going through something really similar to Nancy, where I'm having to disengage with some people who I have, been a part of a group for decades. So and I'm right in the middle of trying to write a letter, just like you, Nancy.
Wow, it's huge.
Yeah.
So this is a theme, and part of this theme is, it's hooked into the Chinese New Year and the dragon energy, which is coming in to clear everything that doesn't serve. And so we're all like sitting on this dragon energy and going, oh my God, I need out of this, And so this is part of why it's all in harmony with the multiverse that we're bringing this out now. It also has everything to do with everybody on this call being ready for this practice. Yes, yes, because it's deeper, and it's like, are you going to do it seriously or not? This is really where we are. Yes.
Well, I just have to say, through us meeting and with you, I've just so much learning the preciousness of myself.
Yes.
Well, for the first
Oh
time,
my God.
basically.
Yeah.
I've been such a giver. But
Yes.
anyway, how lovely is that? And so I'm on board with this.
Yeah.
Because it is just so great.
Well, it's about giving to yourself finally,
Yeah.
because if we don't give to ourselves, then we miss the point.
Yeah.
We're too tired at the end of the day to even know who we are,
Yeah.
or where we are, or what our life is for.
Yeah, really.
And so this is really about what our life with a small s is for, so that we can merge with the big S and be so much bigger. And then that giving has a context that is not exhausting.
Yeah.
We'll tell you that is the truth.
Yes.
That the giving just naturally happens because we are in contact with infinite resource.
Mm.
And any giving from infinite resource actually helps us. It doesn't take from us.
You can feel that. We can feel that. It benefits us and others. It's
Exactly.
just bigger than us.
Yes. So
Yeah.
we are making space for that to be our experience. And what we are experiencing as drama and trauma, as we try to open these centers while being in body, is the actual resistance of our matrix of belief, trying to let go of all this stuff that was put on us.
Yes.
We have to come into the body and
Yeah.
release it. We must.
Yeah.
And we can only tell you from our minimal experience of when it's released, this is from Rebecca's experience, that there is such a thing as ecstatic experience that's beyond imagination.
Mm.
And that as we release these patterns, that ecstatic experience comes from our whole body, from the basis chakra all the way up and out the top, and then there is ecstasy. And we are quite convinced that death is like the culmination of that ecstatic experience when our central channel is completely clear and open.
Wow.
That there's just the final breath into ecstatic experience, and our whole body just goes. Yeah.
No one ever told us that.
Yeah. Well, it's the truth.
Wow. Thank you.
It's the truth. So that's where we're going. And that's the value. So, we told you the punchline. But it's really worth it. Yes.
Just wanted to say the clue that you gave a number of sessions ago and mentioned this morning about opening the back of the head has been really working for me. It's almost like toggling between channels. I find it happening during the week, just unintentionally or micro intentionally, but it's like switching further upstream somehow and opening. And it's been quite lovely. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. So in case anybody missed it, that what he's talking about is the witness location in the back of our head. If we put our attention there, especially when we're having some difficulty, and we just witness we witness our experience, and that gives us just enough space to be in acceptance as we are opening a trauma package or a drama package. We can be in witness, which allows us to choose to love ourselves through that trauma, whatever it wants to tell us about, or whatever difficult energy we are experiencing. That allows us to choose differently than we would if we were in victim mode, which of course is how we experience that drama and trauma in the first place and why it's stuck in us. And that's not always the experience we're going to run into. We're just talking to some of them that are most difficult to engage with equanimity. That equanimity is in the back of our head, watching what happened. And then, you know, sometimes processing is absolutely necessary and important. And that's why we did our commercial. And we try not to do commercials because we don't, you know, we struggle with the flow in and out economically related to this, because it's not a business, it's not a transactional experience for us. But so we are teaching Rebecca how to do it as a transactional experience, that's not a bad thing. And so she's in resistance. So you're witnessing this evolution as we speak. Yes, you've got it. So this has been going on for decades. This is not new. But part of the reason that we like her as a channel is because she doesn't care if we talk about her struggles. She welcomes it because they're the struggles we all have. And, you know, one of the biggest things for us is to get over the idea that our problems need to be secret. That's part of the whole dynamic that keeps women enslaved, is secrecy. So we don't need to have secrets. Perpetrators need secrets. And we are working to their benefit when we keep secrets. So forget secrets. That's not us. And that's not our responsibility to keep any secrets. Wow, did you feel that lift? All of us just went, yeah, that's important to know. It's like for me, it was the right abdominal diaphragm, just open. Different kind of breathing, we have access to the heart. Yes, because we let go of that diaphragm, keeping the
That was
secret.
so powerful. That
Yeah,
was so powerful. And I'm noticing, just as you said that about secrets, that a major part of my matrix of belief is don't be a crybaby.
yeah, that's the same thing.
And,
That's holding the
and which
line.
is the same thing as keeping secrets and withholding and just going into yourself, but not into your body, just for me, into my head.
Right.
So this is such powerful work. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
And I'm so grateful for this group because we're all so aligned and on the same path and in such a beautiful way. So thank you everybody
Yes.
for participation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you understand we're in a new dimension of work. We have completed a dimension. So this is not, you know, this is not failure. This is actually success, leading us to more difficult work, but absolutely essential. Oh, it's the microphone pulling my shirt open. I'm like, why is my shirt like open to my belly button? It's not really.
Can I ask a question about, because as you were just saying, this is like another level where we've advanced. And I find it interesting that this is happening, like you mentioned, with the Chinese New Year, but also with the planetary alignments, because I've been having, I don't know, just so many strong feelings lately in listening to everybody else about, you know, turning corners and walking away from things, and not choosing not to participate in the way that maybe we've always shown up. And just, it's weird because they don't feel like really necessarily endings. It feels more like just beginnings, but beginnings that have been coming for so long. It's almost like the fluidity of it all. And I'm wondering, does that have something to do also with the fact that we don't have anything retrograde right now?
Well, it's not only that there's not anything retrograde. Is that true? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's also that Mars is going into exaltation in Capricorn. Mars will
Okay.
be in its, I think it happens today, actually. I haven't looked for a few days, so I'm not entirely sure what day it happens. But Mars in exaltation is the planet of, it's the warrior planet. And so it is, depending on where it is in our chart, it is activating our ability to engage in conflict within ourselves.
Within ourselves. Okay, that makes so much sense to me with what I've been feeling. So thank you.
So if you know your Vedic chart, wherever Capricorn is in your chart, that Mars is extremely powerful.
Yeah, I am a Capricorn. Pretty much all the
So
way
there you
through.
go.
Yeah.
So it's right at home
Yeah.
in you. So this is inviting big warrior change. And
Yeah.
depending on where Mars is in your chart, you know, that tells you where the sphere of activity will be, what house it's in.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. We love this. You know, everybody is so grounded at this moment. It's really such a different experience. You know, we got to get high a lot in our previous meditations, but now we're into something real, and it's like this is up close and personal. And you can feel the becomingness of it in our bodies. You know, we are bringing being into our daily life now. And you can also feel why we weren't exactly ready for it before. We had to, you know, we had to know that it was worthwhile to engage this. And, you know, as women engaging conflict in ourselves, engaging conflict in any dimension of our reality is not our primary ability. Society has taken that from us. Even our ability to say what's done with our bodies has been taken. And especially, you know, our children are affected by that. So we have to get that back. We have to get control over our bodies in a political way back, because that is wrong, wrong, wrong throughout all dimensions of time and space. No human beings should be denied control over what happens to their body, no matter what gender, no matter what color of skin, no matter what. And that's not a political statement. That's a statement of reality. That's not politics. That's a line that should never be crossed by politicians. Never. It's out of bounds. It violates the right of pursuit of happiness. But nobody has any idea how we're feeling because we don't respond to polls. Any of us. So hopefully we are the silent majority for real. So that's our prayer. Feels good to breathe through our mouth, doesn't it? And our range is just going to increase as we do this. Our range within and outside of ourselves. And our capacity to engage with consciousness. And the division against ourselves will disappear because we're no longer participating in it. It disappears by not what we do, but by what we release and accept within ourselves. That's what makes it disappear. We can't exactly heal the split. We can heal the things that are keeping us split. And when we let go of those, the split just disappears. Does that make sense? Because of course, spirit is not split. The split's in us.
It's very encouraging.
Yes. The divine has no split anywhere. There are dimensions of awareness, but they're not separate. Our experience of those dimensions is separate. That's not a split. That's just changing frequency as we are able to participate more and deeper. And of course, every time we spiral into a new dimension, it feels like starting over. But we're starting over in a new dimension. So it's not that it may feel like the same work over again, because a lot of it's going to appear in the same clothes that we've been, washing our entire lives. It's going to appear again, but it's not the same work. We're in a deeper dimension of it. And so we just keep washing. Because it's that clarity that gives us a new vision for ourselves. And our ambition is all about our self-value and our connection to the divine. That's where all our ambition goes at this age. And we're lucky to have the opportunity. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Anything? We love seeing your faces. We love your participation. It is so valuable in guiding our message so that we know where you are, making sure that you're with us in this endeavor and that we're with you. This is a mutual thing. Our role is guidance. We're a field of information that's available. We have no other role. We're trying to help. And we're available. The first thing to do, if you're having trouble, is to take yourself to an Anasa temple. And you don't have to, at this point, you don't have to make an elaborate labyrinth to get there. You can just like, I am now on a treatment table in the Anasa temple. You don't even have to open the door. You just visualize yourself there and you bring them in and you let their white light just fill you and you ask whatever it is you need to know and make yourself available to that energy. And, you can come to conversations with Anasa if you're still having difficulty, of course. But we're available. Use us. Our agenda is being of service to you, to your growth, to your highest best, which is the same. So we welcome your questions. If there's anything else. Rebecca's a little bit under the weather today, so we're going to check out a bit early, but if there's anything we can help with before that, we're here. Thank you so much for coming. We are so grateful to be able to participate. So much love to you. We're going to say goodbye for now.